Welcome to COVID-19 Franchise Leaders Respond. I'm your host, Red Boswell, president of IFPG, and we are joined today by the legendary Steve White. Steve is CEO of PuroClean. Steve, welcome to today's call.
Thank you, Red. Happy to be here.
Brother, I appreciate your time. I know you are busy with a whole lot of franchisees, and y'all are in a unique position. But before we jump into what your take on this new world we're living in and what you're doing with your franchisees, how are you? How's the family holding up?
Family's good. Thank you for asking. We're good. We have the luxury of living in South Florida, and so it's sunshine and warmth are the enemies of any virus. So that's good. We have the opportunity to get out and go for a long walk. My wife and I go for a long walk every day and kind of shake off all the enormity of this pandemic situation. And but we're good. We're both in that elder parent zone, so we're concerned about our moms, but both in really safe places right now. So, same concerns everybody else has got.
Good. Well, good to hear you're safe and sound, and no doubt enjoying life in the beautiful Boca Raton area. Hey, help us understand to put things in perspective. Tell us who PuroClean is.
So PuroClean does water, fire, mold damage cleanup every day. It's what we do for people all over the U.S. and Canada. So 300 locations in the U.S. and Canada, and we're emergency responders for property, right? So like, we would never put ourselves in a category of emergency responders with fire, police, doctors and nurses and ERs, those kind of things. But when something bad happens to your body, you take it to the ER. When something bad happens to your property, whether it's where you work or where you live, you can't take it anywhere. So we come to you, and we're in the emergency services business. We serve huge property insurance companies. So 3 of the top 5 property insurers in America, we have a national account with. So we are busy all the time. That's our normal business, but we're not in normal times right now.
So where you definitely are not in normal times, I would assume you fall into that critical business space. How is this world being impacted? How is your world, PuroClean's world, being impacted right now?
So it's a little bit hard to say, I think. I've always been a little skittish about predicting what I hear based on talking to my franchise owners. I really need to see royalty reports, which are due in soon. But the normal business continues, right? People don't schedule losses. It's not an option. Like, when I go to get a haircut, I go to get a haircut when it suits me, and if I need to put it off, I can put it off. If you got a sewage backup in your home or in your office or something, there's no putting it off, and there's no scheduling. Nobody scheduled a kitchen fire. So it happens when it happens, and we have to go, and we have to respond and take care of those things. So those things continue as a part of normal business life, and our big insurance partners expect us to be there and take care of those things. And as a part of those things, the last thing that we do is clean. Right? We come and we clean up water damage, and then we clean before we leave, or we come and we clean up that kitchen fire and all the protein stains on the walls from the fire and all that good stuff. But before we leave, we clean. So it's always been a part of what we do, but it's never been the only thing we do. It's just the last thing that we do. Now people are calling us and saying, can you come and just clean? And so that's a kind of a new normal for us, I think, and we think it's going to continue to be a new normal. We actually think it's going to be an expansion of our business. We think that there's going to be greater sensitivity to cleaning spaces and surfaces even after this pandemic than there ever was before. And so the support team has had to kick it into overdrive to figure out how to support the franchise owners through this, because everything else that we do, the pricing is dictated by industry accepted software. But for this, it's not. This is we give a quote, and then they decide whether or not to use us, and we come in and do the work. And so that's different, but we've scrambled around it. And I was just talking to one of the investors that owns the company. We could not be prouder of our support team right now.
So the support team scrambling, you've seen a new opportunity with your business, this, it's a blessing within the curse, so to speak.
Right.
We at IFPG begun using the hashtag franchising stronger together. really encompasses what we see franchisors like PureClean doing, pivoting, extra support, extra guidance, extra
Right.
love, extra
Yep.
leadership. Help us understand what you and your team are doing for the franchisees.
Well, first of all, we're kind of built for this, right? Because even though our franchises are set up to take care of losses in their local markets, when a major weather event occurs, then we try and scramble what capacity we can to those communities to help. So we see our business as not selling services, but serving our communities. And we've always been that way. And in the last several years, we've been working really hard at improving our response to weather events. And so we have a whole set of protocols. We have qualifications that franchise owners go through to show that they're ready to handle this kind of work. And we just turned all those protocols on. Second, we have a protocol set for the home office because right here, in Tamarack, Florida, in Hurricane Alley, we have to be prepared to ditch the office and go to ground. And if a hurricane hits us right here, so we clicked in all those protocols a couple of weeks ago, and the team is all working remotely, right? So they're sheltering in place and working remotely. They all have a widget on their phone so that their desk phone rings right to their cell phone. We're up. We do for the franchise owners. There's a call every day at 10 a.m. We try and keep it short, try and keep it to 20 minutes or less, but they get updates just like if we were in a hurricane. They get updates. I started off. They get everything from training updates to one of our main suppliers is on there because product availability for PPE and chemicals, they're critically short in some areas right now. So we have to stay abreast of that. We have our health and safety guy on there talking about health and safety paramount in a time like this. You know what it's like? It's like a hurricane came to every zip code in America, every postal code in Canada. And so we're kind of built for it. And the whole team is just, they're rising to the occasion. I couldn't be prouder to get to be a leader of this team.
Well, you've done a great job, Steve. Everybody knows how you turned that PureClean around a few years ago and really came in and saved the day. Thanks for your leadership. So
Thank you.
regarding the ZOR and your Z's, are you seeing any layoffs?
Not yet. So
Okay.
I've got my whole team is working. If anything, my whole team is working almost to the point of exhaustion. I've just scheduled a call for later this afternoon with my field support team. We call them our field supporters regional directors, and they're sagging a little bit right now because they're really working overtime. They've all moved to Zoom meetings with their franchisees to provide same monthly support as normal, plus all this storm stuff. And so we're looking for ways to keep them positive, keep them up, try and find some way to bring a little fun to this because we're a fun culture. That's who we are. But right now, I'm really also grateful in hindsight for my decisions a year ago, for our convention a year ago, last June. The theme of my keynote speech was one team, and how we're great individually, but we're great times five when we come together as a team. And so we're seeing franchisees work together in the field. We're getting somebody asked us come and clean a bunch of banks this week, bank chain, and they want it right now. Nobody will let me talk about their names, right? So we're in there doing it, and there haven't been any layoffs at this point. Everybody's just working their tails off, trying to serve their local communities. My team's working their tails off to serve the franchisees.
Well, you are right that PuroClean has that reputation for fun. Love your team with Paul and Steve and Tim and you and the whole gang are awesome. In fact, IFPG just started at our annual retreat, we have speed networking, and we as a team,
Yes, love that.
my team powwows each day. How can we support the ZORs more? No ZOR left behind. What can we do? We're sharing best practice. We're interviewing leaders. We're having internal webinars with the consultants like every other day and sharing best practice, doing everything we can. And someone said, hey, everybody loves our speed networking. What if we did that virtually? We've been messing around a lot with
Yeah.
Zoom. And so he said, but, we're going to test this thing, and we got to have some fun ZORs that know their stuff. And you guys are one of the first three we're doing it with. So it's happening
Oh,
this
that's
afternoon.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going very virtual. Like I said, we always have to in storms anyway. But a week ago today, we did our first virtual meet the team day.
How'd
So
that go?
it went way better than I thought it would. I thought we might be a bit clunky. One tip that I've shared this week, the smartest thing that we did was we had Elizabeth Hawkins on our franchise development team. She's not a presenter and meet the team day. We just had her dedicated to sit there and watch over the Zoom broadcast and, making sure the right person was on the screen at the right time and that presentation slides could be seen and all those things so that presenters could present, be as interactive as possible with their audience. And so we had 6 people online watching it. It's a little weird, when I'm in the conference room in the headquarters in Tamarack. Nobody gets up in the middle of me talking and goes to get a cup of coffee. But in the middle of a Zoom meeting, you see somebody get up and walk out of the shot, and you're like, "Oh, gee, did I lose them?" but I think it
Their
went really
dog
well
jumps in
for
their
us.
lap.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Somebody walks by behind them, and so it went well for us. We got a lot of positive comments from the participants on it. They all seem to be moving forward with us. We do see our lead flow is up sharply. People like our business
This
because we're
is
not
this
tied
is
to economy.
so this is Frandev lead flow
Yes, yeah,
up significantly.
up significantly, and it started 2 weeks ago.
Are
So
you doing anything different for those results?
not a lot. So except for more virtual meetings and trying to replace phone calls with Zoom calls like this, so that we can get a little more face to face going,
I'll
make it
tell you
more
what, I'm not
personal.
surprised. I'm, now that I think about it, I'm not surprised at all. We've had all these consultant calls and things like this, but with 100 folks on it, and they're asking questions like, who do we show today? What are hot, COVID friendly
Yeah.
opportunities? And you guys have been brought up many times. So
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Well, we are. We may have 300, but there are so many communities in America that we don't serve yet, and that's our approach to it, right? We're not selling franchises. We're looking for people who are a good match for us, who want to serve their local community, that we can get in business together with in the franchise relationship and serve more local communities across the country.
Well, Steve, as we understand your lead flow picking up, it's obvious that what you do is friendly during environments like this and a critical service. Help us understand the investment range so we can understand why you
Yep.
guys are seeing such a pickup in flow.
Well, so we're not that expensive a franchise, right? Or I mean, we're not cheap. We have a $50,000 franchise fee. We have You have to start with a truck, and you have to start with what we call an initial equipment package. So the truck is 40 some thousand dollars. The initial equipment package is 50 some thousand, but both of those can be leased. So, and we have for our equipment package, we have such a good relationship with this company. Their approach to leasing for PuroClean franchise owners is anybody that I approve to get a franchise contract, they will automatically approve for leasing the equipment package. And so that helps speed us through that financing piece. And then we got the trucks. We have several sources for trucks lined up. And you can start off working out of your home if you want. A lot of people don't. They want to start out of a commercial location, which is fine with us too. But there's the cash outlay for us is the franchise fee and the working capital. And let's get rocking. We get them through training. We got them out working right away after training. They're not out building a bricks and mortar location or something. They can, they get their initial field training. They get familiarized with all their equipment, which they used hands-on in training, so that we ramp them up fast.
So what are you going to do? It sounds like you've got the pipeline strong. So two parts to the question. There's one thing to have a strong pipeline, another thing to have awarded franchises. Are you seeing
Right.
awards happen during this time? And then what are you going to do about training?
So what we have seen is for those that are going for an SBA loan in particular, we have seen all of a sudden more questions. And I'm getting it myself. We're in the middle of our annual franchisor audit, and every year as a part of that, there's a going concern letter, which every year except for this one has just been a formality. And all of a sudden, BDO stopped dead in the water and had a dozen questions for me on what does COVID-19 mean to the future of your business? I, I mean, I had to answer the questions, but how anybody gives a credible answer to that, we've never seen anything like this before. I don't know how you predict the future on this, but we're not shut down. I mean, my wife is a franchisee with 3 hair salons. They're all locked up. All our employees are not working. For the few people that wanted their hair cut, no hairstylist wanted to cut it, and so they ended up their whole entire chain shut down, and the headquarters furloughed 80% of their headquarters workers. So I
Wow.
feel enormously blessed to have this opportunity to not only keep everybody working, but to serve our local communities.
Brother, I can testify to the old haircut places shut down. I took my electric razor with the little extension that I use on my beard each day, and I took it over the whole head, baby. I just let's save a few dollars.
That's good.
It's getting shaggy.
Yep.
So,
There you go.
but Steve, any other insights on that, whether it be technology, advice, wisdom, predictions, anything else you can share with the franchisors out there?
Well, I think communication in this time is key. Communicate more, not less, and try and bring a little levity to it. Certainly some positivism. Try and make it personal as much as you can, and lead. This is a time for leaders to lead, and we got to step up, and we got to meet the challenge, and we got to be out there, and so that's enormously important to us at PuroClean, and I think everybody in franchising, right? And I'd be remiss if I didn't throw in a random compliment here too to the International Franchise Association staff. Those guys have been working tirelessly. I mean, tirelessly. I mean, I'm going to be more emboldened than ever to say to my franchisor friends who are not members of IFA, you need to become a member. These guys have been there for us in a time of crisis, and I know they've worked to the point of exhaustion. We have a great leader in Robert Crisanti. Grateful for that guy. Matt Haller and the whole government relations team, but not just them, foundation staff, everybody's working hard for us. So I appreciate those guys as well.
Nice shout out. And you would know as good as anyone as you served with them on boards behind the scenes too. So thanks back to you.
You're welcome.
Guys, you've heard some great wisdom, some advice, some insights on what's happening at PuroClean from CEO Steve White. Thanks for your time today. Look for you on another COVID-19 Franchise Leaders Respond, because we are franchising stronger together. Thanks again.
Thanks, Red.